Well, welcome back to Morning Coffee. I am Mark Cook. We are rocking and rolling on this Friday morning on the Radio Vision Network. And I am super excited right now to be joined by the principal of Entrust Financial. And her name is Mackenzie Frankel. Mackenzie, good morning and welcome to Morning Coffee.
Why, thank you. I'm very excited to be here.
I can tell. The excitement has been building for weeks and months leading up to this appearance.
Absolutely.
So we are super excited to have you, and I want you to tell me a little bit right now about Entrust Financial, because you guys are not like all of the other guys in the field, in the market, and all that stuff. You are different, you are better, and I want you to tell me why.
Well, thank you. Yeah, no, we are definitely not your average wealth management firm. Number one, we're woman-owned, and we're a boutique wealth management firm, meaning that investments are the house and the key to everybody's success, but we really help people in achieving everything that's important to them. So helping them to make good financial decisions in all aspects of their lives.
I know. Well, you know, it sounds like a very simple thing, right? Make good financial decisions, but yet it's probably the hardest thing to do for people on a day-to-day basis. Now, you mentioned something really cool, and it's not just a hot topic because it's in the news. It's because it's important. You mentioned that the business is owned by women. It's a women-owned business, and that is awesome, and that is exciting, and that's why a lot of your customer base is women as well, right? You talked about, why don't we talk a little bit about how we can help some of those women that are in maybe a transitional period?
Yeah, sure. A lot of our clients are women, and not to say that they don't have families, they're not married, but women tend to initiate the relationship with us a lot of the time. We have lots of men though too. And I think women, they, really ideally they come to us because they feel comfortable, when they go to the male brokerage house, it's like a lot of times they pat them on the head, be like, it's okay, honey, send you out the door.
Right.
And so they come to us because they feel like we're really listening and we can really help them.
Well, it's a different dynamic. You talk about being a women-owned business. You understand the needs and the voices and all of those things that go along with kind of, look, there's nothing more important to people. Look, obviously, okay, yes, your family is important and all of that stuff, but let's talk about the financial bottom line. It's really important to people, and they need to feel comfortable. And what happens is when certain women go into those other places, the comfort is immediately out the window, so they're uncomfortable, and then whatever financial decisions they're making after that aren't necessarily the most sound or solid ones because they're not in a comfortable situation.
It's true. It's true. And I mean, and ultimately, women, they're interested in the investments. They want to know that they're working for them, but that's not the end all be all.
Right.
People, that come to us, they really want help in making sure that, they can really achieve what's important to them. So, for instance, I had a woman that came in my door the other day. Her husband had, passed away a year ago, unfortunately, and she came in with her kids. She brought both kids in with her, and she had money, and was for the first time in her life that she was actually going to be making financial decisions because her husband handled it all.
Right. And when we talk about women in transition, I think that you immediately think, oh, well, it must be a woman that has gotten divorced and she needs to figure it out. No, there are so many different life situations and scenarios that could lend to being a woman in transition.
Absolutely.
There's not one answer that's going to fit all of that. So, okay, that's really cool, and Entrust is a great environment. It's a very comfortable environment that you guys have talked about. So, what's your bread and butter? What's your specialty? What do you guys wake up in the morning every morning to do outside of the service the needs of all of our clients to the best of our ability? Right? That's the mission statement. What do you love to do? Is it refis? Is it I don't know, investment? What do you really like to do?
The bread and butter. Ultimately, what really juices me is that I like helping people, and I think that's almost, if you asked every single person in my office, they would all probably say the same thing.
Right.
But we really focus on the investment piece. We help people grow their money, or for whatever it needs to grow for, or provide them with income, to support their living. But at the end of the day, it's the investments, and that's how, that's why people hire us.
So the stock market over the last 10, we'll use 10 years as a snapshot because 10 years includes the decline and that major recession. So how have we bounced back? How is the market now? I mean, look, I see every day that we're hovering over 100, right? Things I'm talking actually now. I'm thinking about my stock specifically. So ignore that last part. But numbers are holding strong, right?
Yeah.
Overall, for the most part, and I know that last week we experienced a little bit of a bump up.
There's always, you know what? The market's always going to be a wild card. But, for the last 7 years, I mean, really, we've been in a bull market. I mean, things have been moving very positively. It's not going to always go up. And that's the thing that people, don't always understand. They have to have a long-term view when it comes to investing.
Right.
The last 7 years, there's been ups, there's been downs, but ultimately, things have been moving very positively. You would define it as a bull market, meaning things are going up, ultimately. And markets tend to have a 10-year cycle.
Yeah, and what happened is that things actually had to hit rock bottom before they could start the process of improving, right? All right, so we got way more financial stuff to talk about with Mackenzie Frankel from Entrust Financial, but I have to take a quick break. She's laughing at me here. What is going on? I got to take a quick break. I'll be right back on Morning Coffee. Stick around on the Radio Vision Network.
Simply Gents, located in Marlton, New Jersey, takes care of all your grooming needs, including haircuts, straight razor shaves, massages, facial, manicures, pedicures, and waxing. To find more information or book an appointment, visit us online at www.simplygents.com. The secret weapon of a well-groomed man, Simply Gents.
When it's time for Jersey Mike's to make a really great sub, this is what we do. It's what we've been doing. It's what we've always done. It's what we'll always do. So what are you doing? Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Today's show has been sponsored by More Than Gifts. Come see our new location in Marlton, New Jersey. Not just gifts, but more.
Today's show was brought to you by Alicia Kelly of White Horse RV Center in Williamstown, New Jersey. Alicia is your RV expert. Contact Alicia at alicia@whitehorserv.com or give her a call at 856-262-1717, extension 203. When you think of RV, think Alicia Kelly.
Extra Innings is the nation's premier indoor baseball and softball training center, featuring indoor batting cages, 7 multi-use tunnels, and training rooms. Extra Innings can provide professional instruction, private and group lessons, and the best year-round clinics. Along with a nationally recognized pro shop that features the latest and widest selection of equipment and apparel, our experienced staff can provide you with the right instruction and help you find the best equipment for your ability and budget. Extra Innings, where the game never ends.
When it's time for Jersey Mike's to give a sub some sizzle, this is the way. The way it's always been. The way it always should be. The way it always will be. Because that's just the way it's supposed to be. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Today's show has been sponsored by More Than Gifts. Come see our new location in Marlton, New Jersey. Not just gifts, but more. Today's show has been sponsored by Farmers Insurance in Voorhees, New Jersey. To protect your assets and the people you love, call Mike Skoranek, your local Farmers Insurance agent, at 856-336-2553.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Welcome back to Morning Coffee. I am Mark Cook, and I am joined by Mackenzie Frankel from Entrust Financial. Now, Mackenzie, during the break, you told me that you haven't met anybody that's been so excited to talk about financial services and financial planning as me. Now, what I have to tell you is that you are the one who is supposed to be this excited about this stuff, right?
I guess, yeah.
You are excited.
I am excited.
I show it in a different way.
I never met anybody else, I guess, as excited as me.
All right, that's fair. That is a fair statement. Because, look, I think it's really cool. You talked about, we talked about in the first segment a little bit about Entrust and that you guys are women-owned and you guys do things very differently, but you guys are independent. And I don't think a lot of people necessarily understand exactly what that means. So tell me, what does being an independent financial LLC, like what does that mean?
Well, I mean, if you think about most financial advisors, right, they're usually tied to some big company.
Right.
Okay. We are independent, meaning that we are a company on our own. And of course, we don't hold client accounts at Entrust. Right now we actually use Schwab to hold client accounts, but that just means that we can choose wherever we want. We have no proprietary products.
Right.
We can choose wherever we want to hold client accounts, and we can do basically, we're not tied to any products or services. We can choose whatever we think is really best for the client.
Yeah, I mean, and that lends to a little bit more of a personalized and customized service because you're not tied to one place or one market that you have to constantly draw from, right?
Exactly.
Is that right?
I mean, it's really so that clients know that our goal is to choose whatever is really best for them.
Okay.
We're not being pushed by any other, larger organization to provide them with certain products or services.
Right, and that's what happens, right? I don't think people realize this, is that when you go to one of those huge brokerage houses, they have certain things on their agenda that they need to achieve. One of those things might be pushing a certain stock or a certain fund that is being promoted through a different avenue that they need to make money on. And in turn, that doesn't service the client because now they're putting everybody into that fund, whether they fit it or not, and whether it serves the client needs or not.
You got it. You got it.
I got it. She said it. I must have it, right? So this is perfect. So I want to talk a little bit about the office, right? So the office is out in Wayne.
Yeah.
Wayne, Pennsylvania. It's a beautiful area. So what's your vibe like in the office? How many people do we have there? Look, you guys sound like you're doing so many things differently. You probably have a different vibe in your office, so tell us a little bit about that.
We actually do have it's not a corporate vibe at all. So it's very comfortable, kind of like this. We have a couch and a couple of chairs for people to sit on, when we're in the conference room. It's not your long boardroom table conference room.
Oh, the ones that they sit you down and you feel really intimidated
Yes.
because you're a mile away from the guy and you're like, hi.
Hello.
Yeah, so that's
cool. You don't need
cool.
a microphone to hear me,
Yeah,
but it's a
couches,
comfortable.
like coffee tables, just very comfortable.
It's very comfortable.
Relaxed vibe, like nobody is going to put real high pressure on you. You're going to listen. What an amazing concept that is in financial planning, to actually listen to the needs of your clients.
And that's exactly how we want it to feel for people. So, and actually, the first meeting, whenever anybody comes into us for like a discovery meeting, that's all we do. For like an hour to an hour and a half is I ask questions and I listen. And it's really just to get a good sense of who they are and what's important to them.
Right. It's almost kind of like a doctor. I need to know a little bit about you and what you're all about before I can go to work and figure out exactly what you need, right?
You got it.
You're a financial doctor.
And that was the goal. I'm so glad that you said that, because that was my ultimate goal. Ever since I got into the financial advising world, I had wanted it to make it more like a doctor's office. You come in, I understand you, and then investments are just tools, like a drug is a prescription just to help you feel better. Investments are the same idea.
This is a great concept because and the best part about it is that there's no insurance involved that you have to do your copay when you're getting your financial planning, right?
Exactly.
This is awesome. So we are moving right along here on the Radio Vision Network. I got to take another quick break, but Mackenzie Frankel is not going anywhere. She will be here when I come back on the Radio Vision Network.
When it's time for Jersey Mike's to make a really great sub, this is what we do. It's what we've been doing. It's what we've always done. It's what we'll always do. So what are you doing? Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Today's show has been sponsored by More Than Gifts. Come see our new location in Marlton, New Jersey. Not just gifts, but more.
Today's show was brought to you by Alicia Kelly of White Horse RV Center in Williamstown, New Jersey. Alicia is your RV expert. Contact Alicia at whitehorserv.com or give her a call at 856-262-1717, extension 203. When you think of RV, think Alicia Kelly.
Extra Innings is the nation's premier indoor baseball and softball training center, featuring indoor batting cages, 7 multi-use tunnels, and training rooms. Extra Innings can provide professional instruction, private and group lessons, and the best year-round clinics. Along with a nationally recognized pro shop that features the latest and widest selection of equipment and apparel, our experienced staff can provide you with the right instruction and help you find the best equipment for your ability and budget. Extra Innings, where the game never ends.
When it's time for Jersey Mike's to give a sub some sizzle, this is the way. The way it's always been. The way it always should be. The way it always will be. Because that's just the way it's supposed to be. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Today's show has been sponsored by More Than Gifts. Come see our new location in Marlton, New Jersey. Not just gifts, but more. Today's show has been sponsored by Farmers Insurance in Voorhees, New Jersey. To protect your assets and the people you love, call Mike Skoranek, your local Farmers Insurance agent, at 856-336-2553.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Welcome back to Morning Coffee. I am Mark Cook. That is Mackenzie Frankel. We are talking about Entrust Financial. Now, Mackenzie, we have talked about Entrust for quite some time now. We've talked about what a dynamic and amazing company you are. But right now, I want to talk a little bit about you,
Sure.
okay? On the back of your business card, it says, Mackenzie Frankel is a certified financial planner professional. There's a little logo down here that says Certified Financial Planner Board of Standards. Okay, which means that you needed to get certified or go through a process to get this. Like, you have to forgive me, I don't know per fact, but I imagine this is a pretty big deal to put it on the back of your business card, right?
It does. I mean, it is a big deal, really, because not many advisors have it.
Just talk honestly.
Yeah,
it's all right.
It is.
I see
there was
what,
blood, sweat, and tears on the back of that card.
Yes, what you're trying to do is downplay it. You're trying to downplay it, but let's talk about it for real, okay? This is a big deal. You worked really hard and studied for a lot of hours to be able to earn this, to put it on the back of your card. So that's what I want to talk about. Tell me about what that process was like.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's called the Certified Certified Financial Planner designation, and it's basically 2 years of coursework, and then you sit for a board exam that's 2 days, 10 hours, kind of like if you're an attorney, you sit for the bar.
Right.
When I took it, it's obviously the exam changes every year, but when I took it, there was like 50% pass rate. And most advisors don't have it because you don't have to have it to be a financial advisor.
Right.
but it's really, it goes back to that whole holistic planning thing. And basically, if somebody has a CFP designation, that means that they're more geared towards thinking about your money in a holistic way.
Right.
It's not just about the investments. They're looking at, everything involving your financial life, anything from insurance to your estate planning to taxes to your employee benefits at your job. It all ties together.
Yeah, well, what it tells me is that you don't earn this unless you're the best of the best. Because all of these guys, they can look at numbers and they can crunch numbers and all of that stuff. But to really be able to handle the entire job and the entire picture of somebody's financial life are the ones that have this it's a paragraph on the back of the card. It has like all of this information about the Certified Financial Planner Board of Standards. Now, I don't know if you knew this about me or not. I have a degree in economics.
Good for
I
you.
graduated
Wow.
from Rowan University in 2003 with a degree, a Bachelor's of Science in Economics. I was the last graduating class of an economics degree of Rowan University, as they eliminated the major after I was done. I don't know if that was a coincidence. I believe it was not a coincidence that my class had done so much damage in the economic world that they could not have that be a major anymore at Rowan University. But that was 2003. We know how the economy has changed 3, 4, 5 times since then. What was your background, and what is like the continuing education piece of it that you guys are constantly trying to move forward and trust? Because look, nothing changes as fast as the financial world.
Oh, the financial world is always changing. And, honestly, my first degree was psychology.
Okay.
So I had a psychology degree. That was my bachelor's. And then my master's was in education.
Okay.
And then I got my CFP and all those other licenses around that. This was not my first career. It was my second. My first career was a teacher.
Okay.
And I hated that. So I moved on.
That's cool, though.
Yeah.
Because you were able to determine kind of, and I seem pretty quickly, because you're obviously very young, so you very quickly realized what you wanted to do, and you made your decision, and you did it. So many people, they get stuck, and then they don't know what to do, and they're like, oh, but I'm a teacher, and I can't leave that, right? Because this is like the yeoman's work, and I blah, 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 blah. But no, you really wanted to make people happy in a different way. Yes, teaching is amazing, and it impacts lives, but
I knew it
so
wasn't
does
meant
this.
for me. Yes.
And it wasn't meant for
I knew
you,
it
and it's
wasn't
not
meant
for
for me.
everybody, but this is too. This is impacting people's lives in a positive way, and it's a way that you can use your psychology degree, and you can use that education, the master's in education. You use them both on a daily basis because it's all part of the whole picture in the bigger picture. And that is what is happening at Entrust.
Yeah.
So here's what I want to do right now.
Okay.
I want you to look into camera 3, and I want you to invite everyone watching and listening to Entrust Financial to come down there and meet you.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, if you are interested in assistance with your wealth management needs, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I am happy to help. For a discovery meeting, you can go to our website, www.entrustfinancial.com, and all of our contact information is right there.
Perfect. She is the head honcho at Entrust Financial. Her name is Mackenzie Frankel. Mackenzie, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me, Mark.
You're welcome. I wish you all the best. I got to take another quick break here on Morning Coffee, but stick around. We got a lot more coming up on the Radio Vision Network.